If you support freedom of speech, PayPal. Keep the freedom on the air. Geoffrey Turner is a lawyer. He is an active conservative, and he was telling me about a conservative convention. I didn't know there was a convention coming up, but you assure me there's a convention coming up, and it's more than just rah-rah. You guys are going to get down to some business?
Oh, it's going to be very substantive. So the Conservative Party holds our national convention every 2 years. So this year it's September 7th, 8th, 9th in Québec City, in person, which is a big deal because our last convention during COVID was a virtual convention and it wasn't quite as good as it could be.
So, I mean, in the old days, well, I won't tell you what the rumors were that happened at NDP conventions or conservative conventions or liberal conventions, but you're assuring me, Geoffrey, that this convention, aside from getting together and building team spirit, you're going to be setting out the platform.
Well, not the election platform, but we will be voting on amendments to our party's policy declaration. And people need to understand.
What does that mean? Yeah.
So that's the document that sets out the fundamental principles of policies that the Conservative Party stands for. And it is very different from the election platform. The election platform is something that the leader and the leader's strategic team devise closer to an election, and they take like a menu from the policy document that we're talking about at our next convention, and the leader can pick from those whichever policies they think are winners.
And emphasize and highlight certain ones.
Correct.
But he cannot go against what the convention decides, can he?
Well, that's a dangerous thing to do. We saw what happened to Aaron O'Toole last election when he did include in the election platform policies that were not in the policy document. So that's a dangerous thing for the leader to do.
Well, I mean, and there was one at the Liberal convention the last time, which just about authorized censorship, which many of us believe the Prime Minister is exercising in any event. But it just said, we believe in censorship, but then the government came out and said, well, we aren't going to be going along that lines.
There's another thing that people should be aware of with respect to the Liberal view of these conventions. Theirs is a top-down process. Their policy proposals are vetted very carefully. They're devised by committees who are experts, essentially, and it's top-down. Our policy convention is bottom-up. It's grassroots-oriented. So the policies that get proposed, that bubble up from this national process, they're very authentic, but sometimes they're a bit gritty. They're not as polished.
There's so many things, Geoffrey, I can say when you're talking about gritty and conservative and grits. But you aren't going to allow anything to come up through that system, which is the antithesis of conservatism.
Well, it's not going to happen because EDAs across the country vote. In fact, they're voting right now on which policy proposals should advance to the convention and be voted on. So only policies that are approved widely by conservatives across the country will actually make it to the convention.
Sounds like a kumbaya. Thank you, Geoffrey. 3 minutes. I know that many of you viewers are experiencing tough times with those pointless Trudeau taxes. You're watching every dollar, so are we. We run a very lean operation, which is why I'm asking this question of you now. If you know of any companies who want to advertise on this station, good people watch it, as you know, from coast to coast to coast. Please let us know. And in the meantime, please subscribe and PayPal.